What if loneliness isn't your weakness, but your greatest strength? In today's always-on culture, we often fear being alone, equating solitude with emptiness or social failure. But the truth is, loneliness, when understood and embraced, can become a powerful tool for self-discovery, creativity, and growth. These 5 books reveal how solitude can transform your mindset, sharpen your focus, and deepen your inner life in ways you may never have imagined. First up is Quiet by Susan Cain. Cain argues that introversion, which society often misunderstands and undervalues, is actually a wellspring of strength and profound insight. She weaves together extensive research and compelling stories to show how many of the world's most creative and visionary thinkers, like Albert Einstein, Rosa Parks, and J.K. Rowling, flourished precisely because they valued solitude and reflection over constant social engagement. One of Cain's key insights is the concept of restorative solitude, meaning the intentional seeking of quiet environments to recharge and replenish your mental energy. She explains that introverts often perform best in settings that allow for deep, uninterrupted focus rather than constant external stimulation, which can drain their energy. For example, Cain describes how introverted students excel academically when given the space to think independently, rather than being forced into group work or loud classroom settings. To apply this idea, try carving out daily pockets of silence or solo work time where you can disconnect from distractions, allowing your brain to incubate ideas and solve problems creatively. Cain's research encourages us to reframe loneliness not as a deficit, but as a source of power, setting the stage perfectly for the next transformative book. The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle takes this understanding further by teaching us how to anchor ourselves in the present moment through the practice of mindfulness. Tolle's core thesis is that much of our mental suffering comes from losing ourselves in past regrets, anxieties about the future, or incessant mental chatter. Loneliness fades when you learn to observe your thoughts without attachment and fully inhabit your current experience. A practical concept he offers is the idea of the watcher or inner observer, simply noticing your mind's activity without engaging or identifying with it. Imagine sitting quietly, aware of the gentle rise and fall of your breath, noticing the urge to escape into mental chatter or worries, then gently refocusing your attention on the now. This mindful awareness dissolves feelings of isolation because the experience of presence feels vivid and connected, rather than empty or lonely. Through this mental model, solitude becomes not just silence but a richly alive experience where you can find peace and a deeper connection to yourself and life. Tolle's teachings remind us that true companionship begins with being fully present with ourselves. Michael Harris's Solitude dives deeply into why modern life, with its relentless digital noise and endless social media demands, disrupts our ability to truly be alone, and why reclaiming solitude is essential for mental health and creativity. Harris makes the convincing case that constant connectivity has created a crisis of solitude, robbing us of meaningful alone time needed for reflection and emotional clarity. His key insight is the importance of consciously unplugging from technology to restore a calm, creative mind. Through vivid anecdotes, Harris shares stories of people who rediscovered themselves during extended silent retreats in nature, or by simply taking tech-free weekends, emphasizing how these breaks can reset the brain's reward system and retrain us to appreciate downtime rather than avoid it. For example, Harris recounts a writer who found fresh inspiration after spending a week without a phone, reawakening her ability to think deeply without distraction. By reclaiming solitude from the ever-present digital barrage, loneliness transforms from a negative state into a gateway for richer self-connection and innovative thinking. Next, The Untethered Soul by Michael Singer explores how our minds often trap us in repetitive cycles of resistance, fear, and emotional upheaval, reinforcing the sense of loneliness and internal conflict. Singer's thesis is that true freedom, and thus genuine solitude, comes from releasing attachments to limiting thoughts, emotions, and habitual mental patterns. He introduces the transformative practice of letting go, which involves observing your inner experiences without clinging to them or pushing them away. Singer likens this process to sitting beside a flowing river and watching leaves drift by. Your thoughts and feelings are the leaves. You simply observe them pass without needing to grab or judge them. This practice of detachment helps dissolve the fear of loneliness because it reveals the truth that you are not your thoughts or emotions. You are the awareness that witnesses them. In doing so, solitude shifts from loneliness to a profound space for peace, inner spaciousness, and heightened self-awareness. Singer's profound insights encourage embracing solitude as an ongoing, dynamic relationship with yourself, rather than a static or empty state. Finally, Stillness is the Key by Ryan Holiday draws on timeless Stoic philosophy and Eastern wisdom traditions to argue that stillness, not busyness or constant activity, is the foundation of strength, wisdom, and effective action. Holiday explains that cultivating stillness in both mind and body allows us to respond to challenges with clarity, courage, and laser focus. One actionable insight he offers is the incorporation of daily practices of intentional silence or meditation to train your mind to resist noise and distraction. For instance, Holiday profiles historic figures like Winston Churchill, who famously valued quiet moments of reflection to make tough decisions under immense pressure, demonstrating how stillness can be a source of leadership resilience. Holiday also points to modern examples of athletes and executives who use mindfulness and breathing exercises to stay calm and centered amid chaos. By mastering stillness, loneliness is reframed not as an empty void, but as a centered, stable space where resilience is forged and calm leadership emerges. Together, these 5 books teach us that loneliness, far from being a burden or weakness, can be a superpower of creativity, mindfulness, self-mastery, and calm focus. If you've ever felt overwhelmed by noise, distracted by digital demands, or disconnected from your true self, embracing the wisdom in these books can transform your inner experience and help you develop a powerful relationship with solitude. Which book speaks to you the most? Comment below and tell us your pick. And if you found this list insightful, subscribe for more fast, powerful book summaries that help you unlock your potential.